Hello, everyone, and welcome to another exciting episode of the Bromo Sapiens podcast with your illustrious hosts, Andrew and
Mazer.
That's right. We are back with you, and we hope that everybody enjoyed not last week's, because, well, maybe possibly last week's, but our episode from last time. We hope that you were able to get some sort of interesting and thought-provoking conversation and entertainment from all of our talk about positivity and, you know, how you can really look at it in several other or in more than one way. And also just another really quick plug. If anybody doesn't know, we are starting a segment on that will be exclusively on our YouTube channel called Extras, and it'll be like. It'll be shorter in comparison to the rest to our other episodes, like maybe by like 10 minutes or so. But it's just kind of extra stuff that didn't make it into the podcast due to like length reasoning. So interesting stuff all the same.
It's raunchy stuff. Go check it out.
Don't watch it with mom and dad.
Put some earphones on.
So Mazer, my bro, my
guy.
love, my homie. So you mentioned something very, very interesting the other day to me about how the porn industry has a hand in being the first in like technological advances in certain aspects and areas. Am I right?
Yeah. So, it's a tall claim, but it's an interesting one. It's not by any means, proven scientifically. There's no statistics to back this up, but this is kind of
course not.
This is kind of a conversation I had with a friend of mine, and he said to me that the porn industry has always been the early adopters of new technology, and in some cases even have advanced new technology. And so today we're gonna get into that a little bit. We're gonna talk about sexual stuff. No, I'm kidding. We're not gonna talk about sexual stuff.
But don't we always? I mean, what a grand way to start the podcast off. Just straight up talking about porn.
We love porn. Cue the music.
That wonderful music bit that you just heard was composed by none other than our own Mazer.
Yours truly, yes, sir.
Give him a round of applause.
Oh, thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Oh, you're so sexy when you're basking in your own glory.
Oh, that was my best Elvis impression. I'm sure Elvis would approve. I don't know. Maybe.
I'd hope so.
I hope so too. I really tried. I mean, I even did my hair the way Elvis would do it.
Oh,
kind of.
If all you podcasters out there could see the sexy view that I see right now.
No, I'm kidding. It's
you'd want to watch porn too. No.
You gonna make me act up.
All the time, baby, all the time. But okay, let's not get too far off track. What was it that you were? What is it that you were saying, my good friend?
So, let's talk about sex. Let's talk about porn.
Let's talk about you and me.
Let's talk about this. Well, so let's be very clear. I don't watch porn.
He lied into the microphone.
No.
Oh, that's rich.
That's not a lie. That's not a lie. I don't watch porn. I am a man of the heavens. I'm a child of the heavens. I don't watch or indulge in any kind of sexual activity besides
ravishing my loins.
Yeah. Besides
that. I'm the exception.
He's my one and true love. That's
my boo.
I think it's we're married, so we totally respected God, so it's all good, man. But no, I don't watch porn. That's a lie. No, I'm kidding. Maybe it is. I don't know. Anyway, how do we start this off without sounding like a bunch of perverts? Okay, so let's do a little history lesson.
History.
So, before all you Gen Zers, I don't even know if you Gen Z people know. You Gen Z listeners, if there are some of you out there that listen to us, what a VHS is. And if you don't know what a VHS is, you probably also don't know what a Betamax is. Hell, I didn't even know what a Betamax was until I did some research on this. But
neither did I. I didn't know what a Betamax was either.
So here's the little history lesson on the rivalry between the JVC's VHS. You know what a VHS is, right?
No, what's that? No, I'm kidding. Yes, of course I do.
God damn it!
I mock the style all the time in all of my video work. So yeah, no, I know. You
do? Okay.
Yeah, I have a whole collection of I have a whole
He's got a whole collection of VHS porn on VHS.
Oh no, I wish no.
Well, we got our own sex tape on the VHS, so you know.
Oh yeah, I mean you have to, what was it? Take the what's it called? The live 8 to the Motel 6 or whatever. How does it go? How does that?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Or no, it's like a camera. What's it called? I think it's not a live 8. It's something. Yes, no, yeah. Take the Super 8 to the Motel 6. That's what it is.
I've never heard of that.
Because no, that's because that was what they would. That's what in I think it was the 70s. Since that was such an easily accessible camera, a lot of porn was shot on that.
Oh.
Well, back in the early-ish kind of days.
Interesting. Okay, well that's something new I just learned.
Yeah.
But before the 70s. So okay, history lesson. We got off topic. I couldn't tell you when exactly in the 70s, but somewhere past the mid 70s, somewhere in between 1975 and 1980. Sony came out with a tape called a Betamax, and its closest competitor was JVC, who came out with a VHS. Mm. Now, people that lived during that time that are still alive now can say that, well, they say that the Betamax was actually better in quality, superior in quality to the VHS. It had a better sound, it had a better picture quality.
Right.
But the VHS was cheaper, and the one thing that VHS had going for itself was it allowed people to record for 2 hours, whereas the Betamax allowed recording for only an hour. And so here's the thing. Even though Betamax, which pretty much looks exactly like the VHS tape, it's actually a little bit shorter in length, but
that didn't stop it.
No. It was a better quality material though. But the VHS being the lengthier one and having a longer runtime.
Giggity.
Right. Well, so the reason Did VHS won out, it was actually two reasons. It was, you could record full-length movies on a VHS.
Right.
And B, it was marketed better than the Sony Betamax.
Marketing is everything.
Absolutely. And guess how it was marketed? It marketed itself to the movie industry. Mm-hmm. Guess who got hold of it first? The porn industry.
The porn industry.
Correct.
The porn industry.
And the porn industry popularized VHS by, using that to record pornography. And then pornography was then distributed in adult stores. And then after pornography came the movie industry. Movie industry being, rental services like Blockbuster and Hollywood and, those people.
Yeah, what we know now to be modern cinema and other stuff.
Correct. Well, before Netflix was a thing, you Gen Z people. The millennials would probably know. I guess technically we're millennials, but I don't know. Doesn't matter.
Yeah, no, we are. It's confusing.
We're on the tail end of millennials.
I try to ignore it just because it's like I don't understand it, but maybe that's a dumb way to be.
No, I think it's a way to be. I don't know if it's dumb.
But it's not important. It's not important information. Who cares what generation I'm a part of?
I just like to be condescending to the ones that are younger than us because everybody else is condescending to us. Like the boomers always, the Gen X and the boomers are always looking down upon the millennials, and guess what? The millennials look down upon the Gen Zs.
Well, I guess there's no room for compassion anywhere. Can't we all get along, man?
No, man. If, the bully, we're getting bullied, we're bullying somebody else, they're going to bully the next generation. It's cyclical.
Let's just all be all right.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, absolutely. The world's a dick.
well, okay. So that being said, I actually kind of want to take it back even earlier. So
Do ya?
yeah.
Take it back
So
earlier.
you were talking about how VHS and everything was like the precursor to, you know, the movie industry and everything like that, and that the porn industry kind of first got their hands on that first. So what's even more interesting is let's way back to when they were first coming out with moving pictures, like the old moving pictures without any sound. A way that what kind of jump started that was porn or pornographic or erotic imagery as well.
Oh, really?
Yes, you know, it was of like a woman, you know, undressing or doing whatever, but it was a moving picture. This was you know, like movie making in its earliest stages, and which I also think is actually really interesting because when you think about art and the history behind the nude, you know, and how that's just an image, and then you have something that's comes to life and that makes it, you know, it's essentially a picture that's coming to life with like these moving pictures. I think it's really interesting to kind of think about that relationship of and that line between what is considered art and what is considered pornography, because I think that was where the lines started to kind of blur a little bit. Because you know that sort of thing. It was at a time, I don't remember the exact time, but it was much before the 70s. But it's whenever moving pictures were becoming a thing. But I think that's a very sort of important thing to think about because it was. Shoot, I forgot what I was going to say, but damn it, I'm stumped. I was going to say something about, but there's a connection there. Is basically what I'm trying to say.
No, I got you.
And that, you know, because I don't think there was technically a porn industry at that point because it was such like a new idea. But even way back in the earliest iterations of what could be considered movies, this idea of porn was taking hold of this concept.
Well, let's even take it further back to before photography. I mean, if you look at any of the old classical art, I think it's important to recognize that classical art, classical paintings, even usually depicted women in the nude. And if I'm not wrong, it was usually goddesses. If you look at any of the Greek sculptures. The Renaissance artists, even like Michelangelo, and well, actually, I don't know. Maybe not Michelangelo. Maybe I could be wrong.
I don't remember enough of his work, unfortunately, off the top of my head. So I'm just gonna assume that what you're saying is right.
Well, there's a lot of I mean, we both went to art school. For those,
yeah, but I didn't pay attention during art history. So.
I didn't much either. I did enough to know that what I'm talking about isn't completely wrong, but I could be skewing facts a little bit here without unintentionally. But the point I'm trying to make is, if you look at any of the classical works, it was women that were generally depicted in the nude, and part of what, as moving forward in time, part of what sparked the feminist movement, first, second, and third wave feminism, and just women's rights in general, and I'm talking strictly in the arts community, was to what they're against is the idea of the male gaze, and it's essentially trying to say that women are being objectified or portrayed as objects for the pleasure of the male viewing, and while that is that's a fair thing to say. I think it's true. It's also interesting how much objectification of not just women but the human body in general, both male and female, has been linked to progression in art, science, technology. I mean, look,
Yeah.
I'm not gonna say that women's movements and all that is it's all bullshit and everything. It's not what I'm saying. Before you guys go off on me here, all I'm saying
Right.
is at the
He mentions the word feminism. Suddenly, he's a
not
sexist.
a misogynist.
No.
I promise. What I'm trying to
Right.
say is, ironically enough, objectification of the human body, both male and female, has been sort of the driving force. Pornography, if we're going to be completely frank and non-hesitant with our usage of vocabulary here, pornography has really honestly been the the catalyst in adopting new technology. In fact, if we jump forward in time, some of the first deep fake videos that appeared on Reddit were celebrities whose faces were put onto pornographic videos.
Yeah, like those. Yeah, the fake nudes, if you will.
Exactly.
Yeah.
They were totally deep fakes. They weren't real. And
Yeah.
these celebrities wouldn't do anything like that because it's totally wrong for their marketing, and their publicists would go crazy if that actually happened. But
Right, of course.
the point I'm trying to make is deep fake was first used in a pornographic way on Reddit. And not to mention, moving forward, I mean, pornography has been the early adopter of virtual reality.
Yeah, I was thinking that as well.
Yeah. So,
I mean, wait, just really quick. Have you ever
actually done VR porno? No.
Yeah. No, not VR. Well, I mean, who
I'm
hasn't?
kidding.
No.
Go ahead, I'm sorry.
No. Have you ever actually tried VR, just in general?
Oh yeah, totally. Yeah.
It's crazy.
It's
man.
mind-bending.
Like I mean, I remember being like little and thinking, God, how cool would this be to be actually in a video game? And it's like now you totally can do that, and it's so. But you take a step further, and you're suddenly in pornography. That's
well, the funny thing is, it's
Yeah.
probably the first thing that probably happened was pornography, where you can actually have this virtual female sex you, and
Yeah.
then eventually that paved the way for video games.
yeah.
And but yes, to answer your question, I've actually been in VR, and it's trippy. It's very
Yeah.
trippy. Once you come out of it, or at least once I come out of it, I'm kind of nauseous actually. I can't.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I can't be in VR for more than like 20, maybe 30 minutes at a time.
Really? Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
it trips me out.
interesting.
One of my friends,
I mean-
he introduced me to VR, and in essence, I was basically in Rick Deckard's apartment. Rick Deckard is a character from Blade Runner, and somebody constructed his apartment in virtual reality, and I
Yeah.
was in the apartment, and it was amazing. It was so amazing. I could go on the balcony. It was amazing. I don't think I have any words to describe how freaking cool it was.
I mean, it's a complete like shock to the senses.
Yeah.
I recall how I felt after I got out of using the VR or whatever. I wasn't really nauseous. I would say I was more or less just kind of like I was in shock because it's like this is a real fucking thing. Like
Yeah.
I it's.
And the
It
thing is,
it blew my mind.
And the thing is, it's only getting better. Like right
Oh,
now,
I know.
you know you're in VR because you can obviously see the pixels. You can see you can see it's a virtual space because it doesn't look anything, or it doesn't. You know, there's that uncanny valley. You know it's
Yeah.
not real because you can see the pixels. But as technology gets better, you know, I mean, what if one day you can't see the pixels and you totally lose yourself in
Well,
VR.
I mean, honestly, dude, I thought I was because I when I was in VR, one of the things I got to see in VR, I was on a beach.
Okay.
On a beach in VR, and I sat down and I literally just kind of. I sat down and I just really, really thought for a minute, God, I could totally see how somebody could lose themselves to this, where this is the only fucking thing that they do, because I mean, it was relaxing, dude. I'm at the beach. I look around and it's all there, you know. But it's like, I think it's like I can just imagine, because like I imagine, like, you know, the unhealthy sort of dependencies that, you know, people can have, you know, on video games or just anything for that matter.
Escapism, really.
Yeah. Well, yeah. And I think that will just get exploited even more with VR when it becomes more like, because I mean, think about it, right now, it's normal for people to have a laptop or a phone or an iPhone, or not an iPhone, but
whatever,
a
like a phone, yeah, like
some
a smartphone,
sort of device in their house. Imagine when it's going to be normal to have VR in your house, like
Yeah.
like, you know, or like every other person on your street has VR.
If not VR, like augmented reality, like the kind of shit you see in Iron Man movies, where, you know, you're interacting with the screen without actually touching a literal crystal screen. You're more or less just waving your hand in the air, and it's. But to bring the conversation back to pornography,
my favorite,
right? I'm curious to get your thoughts on. So here's what I think when looking at when looking at these facts, and how much pornography has been an early adopter of new tech. What do you think? You know, some part of me believes that we eventually end up back to our roots as animals. Like, our driving force has always been procreation, has always been, you know, reproduction. Like, we are sexual beings. Our desire for sex, our desire for things of that nature, they continue to push us to do things in many ways, like politically, like technologically, like in many, like, you know, in all these different ways. I wonder, you know, what you think of that.
Well, I honestly, I can't. I don't really think I've ever thought about it like that before. So okay, so just let me clarify before I go into it anymore, because you said that we'll essentially. Oh, what did you mean by when you said we're going to like come full circle? I mean, you were basically saying that everything will come full circle, kind of, right?
Well, so let me just be very, very direct in what I'm trying to ask. I was trying to like coax you into a certain direction.
Sorry, I can't work like that. That's why I wasn't good at school. Teachers couldn't coax me into answering my own questions. I needed like.
Well, so I guess what I'm thinking is VR is now, right? But what's tomorrow for well, I should say pornography. I mean, we have blow-up dolls right now.
Well, and the sex robots, that's a thing.
So that's what I was thinking about. It's like, we as human beings are. I mean, I guess what I want to know is what happens if one day our sex dolls become so real that we don't even need VR to be, you know, sexually soothed, if you will. I don't want to talk about pornography in a negative way. I want to talk about it in an open way. Because,
I got you.
Because I did watch this TED Talk, and in the TED Talk, it was the person who was giving the TED Talk was a sex worker, and she brought up an interesting viewpoint, and on how much her work isn't just about selling sex, but it can also sometimes be about just providing intimacy.
Oh, I get what you mean.
And because she brought up a statistic about how much suicide, the suicide rate. She talked about the suicide rate in America, and a high percentage of it is, I think she said 80% of suicides in America are done by men, because society has this very, very unrealistic idea of what it is to be a man.
Yeah. Oh, it's true.
Right, and in those expectations, men are finding themselves sexually frustrated. They don't know how to ask for it without being ashamed. It's you know, it's. I think it's.
I mean, imagine being called a sexist every time you, you know. I mean, come on.
A sexist, or more, I think I'm thinking of the word,
or misogynist. That one gets thrown around all the time.
that,
I mean,
or being seen as a creepy, perverted dude if you're out there looking. I mean, you know, there's ways to go about picking up.
Yes, of course.
You know,
I mean,
don't be a creep. I'm not saying that creepy men are. I'm not trying to justify that behavior, but
yes, neither am I. No. But what more or less what we're trying to say more or less is, well, not more or less. What we're trying to say is that when the very notion and idea of just communication in general is looked down upon in a negative, or just looked upon in a negative light.
Yeah.
And because I mean, quite frankly, I mean there could be you could have the most well-adjusted human being out there, or the most well-adjusted man out there, who is, you know, he's looking for a good time. He's looking for, okay, maybe I shouldn't say it like that, but like I mean he's looking for intimacy.
Looking for a good time. Hey ladies.
He's like.
No. I know what you mean.
You naughty.
Naughty. You're teasing me.
But like he could be just, I guess I could say searching for intimacy, for lack of better words, and just, I mean, I think it also kind of comes down to just this idea of communication being almost alienated to a certain extent. Like think about all the unsaid rules about texting.
Oh yeah.
A person in general.
Yeah.
You know, you're. I mean, you could be seen. You could be seen as being
too desperate because you reply within like 3 seconds or whatever.
Yeah.
Like, oh god, I hate that.
I had my phone by me. Yeah. Am I a creep because I did that? Okay, so I guess ultimately what we're trying to say is that there's a large amount of words that are wrongly associated with certain ideas that really can have an impact on, you know, mental health, or just culturally how groups of people look at a certain behavior or attitude.
Yeah, totally.
Does that make sense?
Absolutely. I think you're right in that way. And I guess what I'm trying to say too is, when I say that 80% of suicides are in America are men, I guess what that means to me when I think of that is how I don't want to use the word how difficult it is to be a man.
It's so hard.
No, that's not what I mean. I'm trying to look for the right word here. But what it is to be a man in today's society. But I just don't think it's today's society. I think it's been this way since forever. I think, you know, how many times have we as guys heard the phrase, you know, don't cry, don't be a little bitch, don't be, you know, and I'm guilty of saying it to other guys.
Of course, but at the same time, I mean, I think sometimes in an odd way, I think because so many of us have difficulty being able to express our emotions, you know, with each other, just as men. I think that's, in a weird way, it's like it's like a weird kind of like brotherly love type thing. Like, don't be a bitch, man. I wouldn't say that. Like, I wouldn't say it to somebody I don't know. I'd be more likely to say that to somebody that I do know, that I'm close with.
Right.
But it's more or less, I mean, it comes off sounding brutal.
It is
a bitch, but it, like, in reality, I could mean, and it's like, don't worry about it. It's, you know, it ain't nothing.
Right.
You know?
But, you know, that's guys saying it to guys, and that's one context. But I'm talking even, like, you know, in your family, you know, when your parents say it to you, or your siblings, or whoever, you know, when a girl says man, I shouldn't say when a girl says, but when anybody says man up, boys don't cry and things like that.
But that is a big thing, though.
It is.
That is a really big. I mean, even just saying that, you know, of a girl, of a woman saying, "Oh, be a man about it." That is totally just, you know, like.
Yeah. And I think that idea that men shouldn't cry, or men shouldn't express their feelings, it's gotten to a point where men don't know how to, you know, they turn to to sex workers because they don't. Here's the way I look. Okay, here's how I'll say it. The way I see men and women, and I'm using men and women as two, opposite ends of the spectrum, because it's easy for the sake of this conversation. But what I mean is, men tend to generally think, how do I say this? Women want to be emotionally stimulated before physically, and men want to be physically stimulated then
before emotionally. Yeah,
and that disconnect means that some men are good at it, some men are not. Some men understand how to go about talking to women, and then some women that are good at understanding men know how to go about talking to men. But majority of the people out there don't know how to talk to the opposite side. I think it's a simple fact, and that's when people turn to, in men's case, I think they turn to sex workers and prostitutes and looking for that intimacy, that love.
OnlyFans.
God, I don't know if I would ever get on that stuff. Because look, it's like you're allowed to look at the car, but you can't drive it.
Yeah, that's fair.
And I'm like, well,
I mean, that's my attitude. That's my attitude with strip clubs. I've never gone to one, but I know the gist of what it is, and it's like it just seems like an awful waste of money.
It is.
If anything, like it just really, really is. Like, I mean, how much would you say you could spend at a strip club in a night? I don't know it.
I've seen people spend upwards of $100 on lap dances alone.
Imagine how great of a steak dinner I could get with that.
You can get 2 steak dinners with that.
Yeah, see, for me and my homie, see?
Yeah, you could totally take me on a date, get me a $40 steak, bourbon.
Oh, it has to be with the bourbon.
Yeah.
Because there's just that perfect
smoky
combination.
Smoky with a little bit more smoky. Yeah.
Oh, indeed. And then if we have some cigars afterwards, that's even better. Then we'll take it.
Smoke.
We'll make it even smokier. All right.
Shit. Look, I mean, it's true, but I guess bringing it back to pornography. What happens in a world where VR is just VR? VR is the next OnlyFans, where obviously you can look at the girl. And you can get the maybe not the sensations, but she's there in front of your eyes. You can't really touch anything, but she's there in front of your eyes. But graduating from that, moving forward, I mean, what will sex working look like in the future? Is our desire for intimacy, and I'm not just talking about men, but I'm just talking about us as humans.
Just in general, yeah.
Is our desire to be intimate with another being or something of that nature going to push us to create an AI that's used for those purposes? I mean, is that do you think that's something that's possible?
Of course. I mean, I'm thinking about. Yes, I do think it's possible, because it's like I watched an interview of, this is a guy who actually makes these sex robots. All right.
Oh, this is actually happening right now.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
wow.
I was an interview of I don't know how recent. I mean, it's pretty recent, because this is still, I guess, new technology and everything like that. He has a wife, but he also has a robot.
Oh, wow.
But the interesting thing is that he said that he actually prefers the robot to his wife because it doesn't matter when or how he wants it. It's always there for him. He can always just go to it, and he doesn't have to. There's no boundaries, essentially, that he has to leap over. He
doesn't have to play any game. If he wants it, he can totally just get it. Yeah.
Exactly. And that's a very interesting. That's a very interesting thing to think about, because that completely destroys it completely destroys the idea of intimacy. It completely destroys the idea of, even create or I guess having a bond. And I don't mean like one of those like
mating is totally taking out of it the mating rituals.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to get to. It's like it actually completely goes against nature.
It totally does.
Yeah. It's at what point does that become? Does that sort of idea, that sort of practice becomes a widely accepted thing? And because I'll sort of like this, that happens. I mean, if sex workers will be put out of business to a certain extent. I mean, like actual prostitutes.
Yeah,
because at that
like
point,
actual human prostitutes.
Yeah. Because think about it like this. I mean, I don't know how much you'd pay for a prostitute. Because personally, I've never done that myself.
No, I'm just kidding. Just like I haven't watched porn.
Except for the times that you've made me pay, but that's different. But no, it's like it really makes you think, because it's like, because think about it like this: if I forget how much they pay, how much it is for a single sex robot or whatever. But think about it like this: it's definitely more cost efficient to pay for one robot once than it is to consecutively pay anybody consistently over a month or even over months.
Well, let me ask you this.
What's up?
So, if our primal instinct is to want and seek intimacy, I think that, and I don't know, I mean, it could go two ways.
Just an idea.
It's just an idea, and I think it can go two ways. We either get to a point where we can only get so far with our technology, and the dolls, like I was talking about earlier, the uncanny valley, where you're in a VR. With today's technology, you're in a VR. You're not in the real world because you can see the pixels. In the same way, I think we're going to get to a point where our robot sex dolls will not be real. We'll know they're not real, and even though we can go to them whenever we want, and the whole mating ritual is taken out of the equation. I think at some point, us as humans are going to feel incomplete by that too, and that incompleteness, I think, will either lead us back to wanting each other, like real humans, human to human interaction, and or we will continue to develop our sex dolls so much that the uncanny valley the valley shrinks, until it gets to a point where we can't distinguish between.
You're desensitized to it.
Well, that, and you can't even distinguish between human and a robot at that point. And that's kind of the premise of Blade Runner, where the robots are more, the tagline for that Tyrell Corporation is more human than human. So,
but let's take it back even further to our initial idea at the beginning of this podcast, when we were talking about how pornography or the porn industry is ahead of its time, essentially, in certain technologies. Mm-hmm. So we've got we right now they're working on that super realistic sex doll and everything like that. But what is just that going to inspire amongst other industries, like the military, think about like that. Is it gonna open the door? Is it gonna open the doorway to a super powered fucking robot, like RoboCop kind of thing?
Super soldiers. Yeah.
Soldiers.
Well, I think, I guess if we're being completely honest, usually it's the military that comes out with the new tech, and that new tech, I think, then becomes adopted by other industries.
Oh yeah.
So if I'm being completely honest with you, and what I think is that we've already reached the point where we've created these super soldiers, or we're in the process of creating them.
Yeah.
And those super realistic soldiers that are very human looking and human feeling.
Yeah.
They're going to trickle down into, and who knows, maybe the porn industry is going to be like the first ones to adopt them, and the adult adult shops will be the first ones to have these very hyper realistic sex dolls. So I don't know. Maybe those super soldiers already exist. Those robo soldiers, I should say, they might already exist.
I mean, hey, anything's possible. They're just waiting
Area
for the
51.
Right. That's why they were so nervous about the raid. All those the raid last year.
Yep.
Last year. But yeah, I mean, yeah, it's they're just waiting for they might just, who knows, they might just be waiting for the proper time to relinquish this idea to the public. You know, I mean, but yeah, it's definitely, it makes you think, and it boggles your mind a little bit when you think about how far these things could really go.
It really does, and at that point, you're like wondering, what does it mean for us as humans? I mean, we are humans, right? And we create the next form of us.
Yeah.
Could that mean that we're a creation of somebody else? Like life as we know it right now is maybe just, and that kind of goes back to the simulation.
I'm a robot.
Could you be? I mean, are you just a puppet in somebody else's game? Is there a being much bigger than you?
Oh yeah. I mean,
is there a world within a world? Are we all in a video game?
I mean, how do governments work? Look at it like that.
How do you what?
Know? I mean, how do governments work? Look at that.
Oh, you're saying that they're the.
Well, I mean, what? No, I'm saying I mean, it's like conspiracy theory type. It's a conspiracy theory type ideal, but who's to say that this government that we know is actually in charge of itself? Maybe something even.
Oh yeah. Somebody's governing the government, and the government is governing us.
Exactly, for some other larger world.
Could you imagine
plan? Of course.
How you play Grand Theft Auto or Red Dead Redemption, and you're controlling these characters in this world. Yeah. Imagine somebody's huge, much, 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 literally in size, much bigger than us. Then that's controlling each of these. We're all somebody's character.
Well, who's ever controlling me is a fucking dick. I'm going to say that. Right?
Yeah, they're not really good to you.
Yeah. Well, they're all right sometimes, but even still.
Well, I don't know. I think they're pretty good to you. They brought you into my life.
Okay, yeah, that's fair. You have to look at it. We have to look at it that way. Yeah. Thank you, Sky Robot.
Sky Robot. Skybot.
Well, I was okay. So I saw bits and parts of a movie last night called it was the Alita Battle Angel.
Yes.
Yeah.
I haven't seen that movie, but I've heard of it.
Where they've got that chick with the really big eyes. It's
chick with the big eyes.
They're huge. It's weird, but I mean, it's
her
not
eyes.
Awful.
That is. Yeah, her eyes. We're talking about her eyes.
Of course, but
eyes are up here.
I mean,
and they're huge.
Yeah, they are, and I could get lost in them because they're just that large, and bulbous. But it's okay. So
sorry, I keep distracting you.
No, it's all right. Well, you always distract me. So, but no, it just all this talk about robots and everything like that, or humanoid robots, got me thinking just about that movie a little bit, because she's a robot. She's a combat robot essentially, but she's very, very, very reminiscent of a human being. She has human skin and everything like that. And I mean, not to pervert this idea of her, because I mean, it was originally an anime as well.
Was it really?
Yeah, it was an anime. It was an anime, and they adapted it into live action. But there's also a lot of cybernetic humanoids that are in that movie that honestly they don't look too far away from some of the cybernetic humanoids that we see here right now, that are actually being on Earth, that are being worked on as we speak.
The animalistic ones, have you seen those ones from?
Oh yeah,
that they're They have the 4 legs, and they're basically like headless dogs.
Yep.
Oh God.
Yeah, it's very well. There were robotic dogs in that movie as well. But I mean, you know, it's just like a movie like that and a conversation like this really gets the imagination kind of rolling in your head when you see what kind of incredible things that were or what sort of incredible things were pulled off in that movie had they been in real life, you know?
Yeah.
So it's just, you know, I mean, I don't know. It's I guess my thing is, you know, so yes, back to the whole thing about how they're developing, you know, sex robots and everything like that. Who knows what else they could be developing as far like, are they developing like home servants, like servants for your house that you can, you know, buy and they'll do everything, or, you know?
Yeah. Oh my God, that'd be very interesting. Considering
Like mechanics, even, you know, like something your car, you can have one in your garage in case your car fucking breaks down, and you can just
like something that
you know.
you can program to do anything you want. You know, that'd be very crazy. And then what does it look like? I mean, you know, because that would be a real controversial topic.
Yeah. You're unlocking a whole list of
A whole can of worms. I mean, does it look like, you know, is it a woman? And men buying women robots that can do anything, everything.
And then we're gonna hear all about that in the headlines for years to come.
Or it could be women buying men robots that are handymans, basically. Oh, my plumbing has gone bad. Could you fix the fucking sink or whatever? And you got this dude with his pants all the way down, and then you can see his crack.
He's a fat guy. They just have a lot of
he's got a hairy belly and shit.
Right. Made with real human hair.
That'd be funny. Yeah, this is my handyman boyfriend. Or, I'm sorry, my handyman sex
plumber
robot.
Man.
Yeah.
Sex. He's a sex robot on the weekend, but a plumber man during the weekdays.
He sure plumbs me every other day.
Oh my God, that is
unclogs
graphic and sexy.
Unclogs the pipeline. Oh God.
Oh my God, he's a saint in the how would that phrase go? He's a saint in the he's a saint in the sink and a freak in the sheets. There we go.
Oh God, what is the actual phrase? Freak in the sheets. Or no,
I'm a saint on the streets, but a freak in the sheets.
That's it. Yeah, saint in the streets and freak in the sheets. Mm-hmm. Oh God, I'm not a saint anywhere.
Oh, that's not true at
all.
I'm
a freak in the streets and a freak in the sheets.
You know, that would actually be a great tagline for
It's my Tinder profile from now on. Tinder bio. Freak in the streets, freak in the sheets.
I mean, yeah, but I think that made me think about Iggy Pop for some reason. Iggy and the Stooges.
Oh, weird.
Yeah, for some reason that I put that together, and that made me think about that. That would be that'd be an interesting punk rock song to make.
What if it was creep in the streets and freak in the sheets?
Hey, I feel like that's a thing. There's a lot of people that they're underestimated, and then when they're actually given the chance, they can perform. You know,
there's a lot of creeps out there, ladies. But they're great freaks in the sheets
and gentlemen. Watch yourself.
Oh yeah, a lot of
watch yourself out there. I meant not
creepy
watch yourself.
men hitting on other men. Oh my God, that'd be funny. I think if a creepy dude hit on me, I'd be like, I'll take the attention.
I mean, I hit on you, and look what happened.
You're not creepy though.
Oh well, thanks, babe. I appreciate.
You're welcome. You're not a creep. Don't talk. Don't talk like them. You're not a creep. Creeping into my heart.
Isn't that
Is that a song? Don't tell me that's a song. Creeping into my heart.
No, it sounds like it. It sounds like some emo thing. I'm creeping in your heart.
Sounds like Blink 182. God, I hate Blink 182.
You hate Blink 182.
Do you not?
I love Blink 182.
Oh no, Andrew! This is the first argument we're gonna have on air. You like Blink 182?
Dude, Travis Barker is an incredible drummer, man.
I don't know. Okay, maybe he's a good drummer. I'm talking about the singer though.
Oh, the singer's fucking awful. He's annoying, but
That's exactly what I hate about it.
But I know, here's the thing. Blink-182 was one of those bands that I grew up with, so it's kind of like I always have a soft spot in my heart for it. And it was the band that people would sing about after football games in high school and stuff. And I don't know, it was cool, and it was fun to over exaggerate the guy's voice and make him sound worse than, well, even more worse than he already sounds.
I don't know the name. I don't know his. I don't know his name. But I'm gonna straight up. I want to just straight up.
I know it's Tom DeLonge. I think that's his name. But I mean, if you've ever, you probably haven't heard it, but there's a song Blink-182 has called "Damn It," and it is it's one of the coolest guitar riffs I've ever heard in my life. Like it's fucking sick, man. Like, I mean, yeah, when the guy comes in and starts singing, it gets kind of but the drums are really good on it. But the guitar riff, I'm sure
the drummer is really good. I honestly, I listened to one or two Blink-182 songs, and I was like, you know what? So I'll give it a try again. I shouldn't be such a dick to him. I'll listen to the music. Okay. I'll tune out the guy. I'll listen to the music, and I'll try and appreciate him if I can.
Just listen. No, just listen to "Damn It." I'll say it like this: out of all the songs in Blink-182's career that you should listen to, that anyone should listen to, just check out "Damn It." DAMMIT.
Okay.
And it's because it just has such a cool fucking riff. Like it's cool.
All right.
I mean, that's the best way I can say.
All right. All right, baby. I'll check it out.
But I will say this: there are some certain vocal moments, not in that song, but just for them in general, where it gets kind of, kind of whiny. It gets whiny.
Yeah, I thought you were going to say something else.
Well, it's whiny and juvenile, and you're just like, But
yeah,
but then the guitar riffs come back in, and it's fucking awesome.
All right, I'll check out that song. I mean, that's kind of my trajectory with Green Day too.
Well, I'm not that big a fan of Green Day either. I mean, I think I like. I mean, they've got some all right sounding riffs here and there, but they
had some good early stuff. Like the early music was really good, and then they kind of, and then again. That's the same with me and Maroon 5.
Well, yeah, Maroon 5 used to be great. Well, I mean, the issue. I mean, the honest to God issue is that that pop influence is what gets mixed into there.
That's exactly right.
Because it goes from being punk rock to pop punk, and it's like
pop punk is the worst.
I mean, yes, in some
just say
cases,
yes. Don't disagree with me right now.
No, I am disagreeing with you.
Yes.
No, because there's some pop punk that's really good. All right.
Okay. All right.
There's some, okay. Let me say it like this, because I think you'll agree. You'll agree with me on this.
I'm just giving you a hard time.
No, it's all right. But the majority, you could say it like this: the majority of pop punk, in some way, shape, or form, is cringy.
Majority of pop punk is like, it reminds me of that 7th grade phase where girls were wearing, shirts with slits in them and painting their nails black and having these really, really high top Converse. Not just girls, guys too.
The attractive girls, you mean? No.
Yeah. Some of them were pretty attractive, actually.
No, they were very cute.
Yeah. No,
the boys too. No.
Oh yeah, that was me. No, I'm kidding.
Mazza, oh God, Mazza, I would have married you right there. I would have roared at you. I would have roared at you, and we would have. You would have. Oh, yeah, you would have howled at me. And we would have carved our initials into some tree.
I don't know, man. I think we didn't go to the same high school, for those of you who don't know, but we grew up in totally different cities. But I think if we had gone to the same high school, I think, dude, I don't know, man. I might have even been in a band with you.
Oh, it would have happened. A lot of people who talk to me that have access to musical instruments end up joining a band with me in one way, shape, or form. So
yeah. No, seriously, I think we would have been like 2 peas in a pod or something of that nature.
No, we would have, and I totally agree with you on that. Okay, so here's an interesting idea. I feel like we as humans really have this. We're very much attracted to connections.
Yeah.
Like just in general. Like, I will legitimately get so happy and excited when I see, 2 two bits of content that are completely separated from each other, but coincide with each other suddenly. So there's this video of a cat that is, it's a small white cat named Herbert. Have you seen it? Where it's like,
Yeah.
where she's like, hi Herbert, and then the fucking cat goes,
Oh yeah. Well, I've seen the demonic version of it, but yes.
yeah, as have I. Like I've seen the original one where the cat meows or whatever. But then there's like I've seen an edit before where it's like the sound that he makes is the exact same sound that is made from like one of my many favorite memes, and I get so excited about it, just pure happiness, just finding, because it's like, it's perfect to me, just the fact that these two like unrelated memes come together to create this incredible meme, and now there's a connection there. It might sound weird,
so you're probably really excited by like these Marvel movies,
well,
because of like all the connections that happen. I mean, if like two characters coming into like a crossover type scenario, like,
to a certain extent, I'd say. Well, to a certain extent, I'd say. Well, yes and no. I mean, I like superheroes, but I wasn't like a big fan.
Mm-hmm.
I'll say it like that. I mean, I'll put it like this: I was excited when Spider-Man joined the Avengers.
Oh yeah,
I was excited about that because I love Spider-Man. Spider-Man is one of my favorite heroes.
Mm-hmm.
I like the Avengers too; they're pretty cool and everything like that. But Spider-Man, that's my guy. Like,
I got a bone to pick with about Spider-Man. I think we've already talked about this one.
Oh yeah,
maybe not on a podcast, but I've got a bone to pick about the new Spider-Man.
Oh yeah. I mean,
because Spider-Man, and the only reason I say that is because Spider-Man is also one of my favorite superheroes.
Yep.
If not my favorite, my only favorite superhero. If I had to pick one, I'd have to pick Spider-Man.
Yeah, he's fucking awesome.
It's just such a relatable character, and because Peter Parker is supposed to be a high school student that's moving through a very awkward stage in life, and that's why he's such a relatable character.
Yeah.
And what I don't like about the new Spider-Man movies is they pretty much take out all of the very human elements that make Peter Parker Peter Parker.
Yeah.
Like, he didn't make his own suit. He was given it by some rich billionaire scientist named Tony Stark. And while, it makes sense in the context of how the Marvel movies were constructed, as a standalone movie and Spider-Man himself, I wanted to see him create his own suit. I wanted to see Aunt May struggling, and I mean, God bless Marissa Tomei. Like, she is beautiful, and she's really
the new
good.
Aunt May is
She is way too good looking to be Aunt May. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Like, she is this hip graphic designer-y looking, I own my own business and I live in New York, and
a MILF.
Yeah, total friggin' MILF.
Yeah.
And Aunt May is supposed to be like older, mature woman, elderly, and sort of
grandmotherly, kind of.
Grandmotherly, and also like sort of beat up, like worked to the very bone. Like, she's working hours on end.
Her husband died. It's like,
exactly. Oh, and that's the other thing. We don't get to see Uncle Ben's death in any of the new Spider-Man, and that's probably the one thing that makes Spider-Man Spider-Man is the death of his uncle, because it was indirectly caused by him.
Wait, what was that?
It was indirectly caused by him.
Oh yeah, exactly. And so many times it's echoed throughout the series. With great power comes great responsibility. I mean,
they don't say that once. Well, obviously they can't say that because it was from a totally different Spider-Man universe. But But
I mean, I'm even thinking about the cartoons. If you look at the cartoons, they would always say that. Yeah. Like, that is like that. I mean, if you were going to choose one motto to, or if you were going to choose a motto to completely associate with Spider-Man, or the premise of what that story is even about, with great power comes great responsibility. Like there's and I totally agree with you because I mean, you've got this Tom Holland guy that heartthrob that all the.
I mean, no disrespect to Tom Holland. He's a great actor. But
no disrespect to him.
Okay, all right.
I'm only saying that. I'm only saying that. I'm only saying that because I know he could take it. I'm just.
Doesn't give a shit about you, Andrew. So you can say whatever you want.
I
there are people saying much worse shit than you are.
Yeah.
Anyway,
well, I mean, I'll say it like this. I mean, I as an actor, here's the thing. If he wasn't a heartthrob, I'd probably like him more. It's just the fact that people are overhyping him just for the fact that he's some fucking hunky, attractive British guy with no lips. It's like I don't. Because that's the thing. That's the thing. He apparently doesn't have lips.
Is that attractive? Guys with no lips.
I guess I don't know. In that case, it is. But
I don't know. I always thought guys who looked more feminine were more. Well, I shouldn't say that they were more
Steven
attractive.
Tyler. Ooh.
Oh god, that dude is.
Dude looks like a lady.
He does
I love
look like
that song, and I love Aerosmith.
I like Aerosmith too. Yeah.
Dude, oh man, have you heard the album Rocks by Aerosmith?
I haven't. Maybe I have. I don't know. Like I don't know too much about Aerosmith. I know some of the very big hits and some of the other songs, but I don't know too much about Aerosmith. If I'm being completely honest.
Well, if you know the song "Back in the Saddle," "Back in the Saddle" came from Rocks. But if you want a really really great rock or a really really great rock and roll record, check out Rocks because it's so good. Every single song has something to offer on it, and it sounds so good.
Okay, I'll have to check it out. I particularly like Rick Dufay from Aerosmith. I think Aerosmith has had a whole bunch of different guitarists. Rick Dufay was one of them.
Was he like in the early days? Because I
don't think he was in the early days. I think he was in the later days. Let me take a look here.
Oh, okay. Because I mean, I'm a total Joe Perry fan. Like Joe Perry is one of my favorite guitar players. Like he's so cool, and his sound is just unbeatable. And then their other guitar player, I don't know his name. It might be Rick You used to call him Rick Dufay.
Well, so let me take a look.
Is it a blonde guy?
No, he has brunette hair. He almost looks like Chris Cornell.
Oh, okay.
But not really. I mean, there's similarities, but they're not exactly alike looking. Okay, so Steven Tyler, Joe Perry, of course. There was Joey Kramer, Brad Whitford, Tom Hamilton.
Brad Whitford, that's the guy I'm talking about.
Oh, okay.
He's the second. He's really really good.
Okay, yeah. I don't see. Again, I don't know too many of the members. I know Steven Tyler, Joe Perry, and then Rick Dufay is the other one that I know. I don't know every other person in the band, but I'm trying to figure out. So I think the current members right now are Steven Tyler, Tom Hamilton, Joe Perry, Brad Whitford, and Joey Kramer.
Yeah. Yes.
Past members include Ray Tabano, Jimmy Crespo, and Rick Dufay. So I'm trying to figure out when Rick Dufay was. Well, I guess if I'm just going to cut to the chase, I'm in love with Rick Dufay's daughter. She is. She's so fucking gorgeous. Minka Kelly.
Oh, speaking of which, I see them now. I see them both right now.
Oh, you're looking at them right now?
Yeah, because I wanted to see how this guy looks.
Yeah, wow. I don't know. I kind of look like...
She is fine.
Oh, God, she's beautiful. But, I mean, I don't think we should forget that Liv Tyler, Steven Tyler's daughter, she's also pretty pretty.
Oh, my God.
Are you looking at Liv Tyler?
I feel so dumb.
What?
Because this entire time, I had no idea that they were related. But
really?
It's so... I shit you not. I swear to God. I always thought, oh, yeah, she was an attractive-looking woman. And then I saw Steven Tyler. I'm like, oh, yeah, he's an attractive-ish looking man. You never
thought two attractive people could be related to each other?
No.
Damn, dude.
I really didn't. I feel so stupid. Wow.
Yeah, Liv Tyler is his daughter.
Yeah, that makes sense now. Wow.
Can you see the resemblance, too?
No, I can. I mean, I don't even have to look at it. I can totally see the resemblance. Like, that's why I'm like, I get it now. That, yeah, they're totally related.
Oh, yeah.
Fuck me. God damn it. I feel so stupid.
Ah, man. Well, hey, look.
And the funny thing is right when I was searching up Aerosmith, Liv Tyler came up in the in like the suggested search. I'm like, that's interesting. I wonder why that's a thing. Well, now I understand why.
Yep.
That's funny.
So apparently Aerosmith's two members have daughters that are both beautiful and actresses.
Well, I mean, when you have a famous family members, I'm sure they can get you into places. That's no issue at all.
Yeah, well, right? Nepotism. No, I'm kidding. Just having it's not nepotism, but it's more like having connections in the
But
industry.
I'll say it like this. I mean, I'm not. If I were ever to come, if it ever came to it where I actually wanted to have children, I would only actually plan on having a child if I knew for a fact that I could provide a life for them in which they could be, where they could find success in whatever it is that they would want to be successful in. Mm-hmm. Like, you know, I'll basically put it like this.
Basically, you would pay hefty donations to get them into UCLA.
Sure. I'll put it like, I mean, I'll say it like this.
I'm making a reference to it.
No, what?
No, that's what, some of these celebrity kids were getting their seats bought into a college.
No, I know exactly what as soon as I thought about what that name, what UCLA was, I immediately remembered. Yeah, no, I know what you mean. No, I wouldn't have done that.
Sure, you
like.
Oh, daughter, you want to go to UCLA? All right, I'll pay for your school. I'll buy you a seat. No, I'm kidding. You wouldn't do that.
No, what
you're a man of honor.
Well, no, what I'm saying is, it's like they would. I mean, of course, they would have to work their ass off. I mean, I would make sure that that's.
You'd make sure they had no ass left by the time they were done working. Okay,
right.
I'm kidding. No, I know what you mean.
No, you got that right. Because a big ass can bring about so many different issues. Ass cancer, for one. No.
Ass cancer? What?
I don't even know if that's a thing.
I wonder if
maybe that's why I can joke about it. But
booty cancer.
Booty cancer.
A booty tumor.
But no, like I would of course make sure that they would have to understand what merit is and what honor is, and that, you know, because ain't no child of mine going to be a spoiled brat. I'll tell you. I'll say it like that.
Oh, I know.
But like, I'll say it like this: for certain like paths in life, like say they wanted to be a movie star or a musician, and say I'm already a musician and I know a shitload of people. Mm-hmm. You better being a musician is one of the hardest like things to get into. Mm-hmm. You know, just being an artist, you know.
Oh yeah.
Or it's one of the most. I mean, being an artist is difficult, of course, but you know,
it's hard to get noticed. It's not an easy road to take. It's not lucrative. That's for one.
No, of course not. And that's why they always say it. It really helps. It really helps with who you know that can get you to the places. Because I mean, you know, your chances are very, very slim, regardless. And basically, it comes down to you have to be really, really, really good. And you know, it's society that ultimately determines whether or not you are that definition of really, really good.
Right. Absolutely.
All right. Well, without further ado, I think it's time, Mazur, that we let these fine people go.
Yeah, get out of here.
Get out of here. But yeah, no, we wanna as always, we'd like to thank you wonderful people for listening in to hear us just talk about shit for 69 minutes every couple of weeks or so.
Thanks for sticking around for 69 minutes.
69 minutes. Also, if there's anything that you'd like us to talk about, anything that you would like to, you know, hear about, contact us. You can find us. You can message us on the Bromo Sapiens.
Slide into our DMs.
Instagram. Right. And if it's
Send us a naughty
enough,
message. We like that stuff.
all right. Thanks for watching, everybody.
Cheers.
Cheers.